everyone is having a great day, whether you are 5 hours away or a day away. Remember, I love you. I really want to make this video because this has been bothering me for a while now. And I know some of you guys may think this is pathological or crazy, but I feel a lot of us have been in situations where someone did something so foul and flagrant to us that it's been bothering us for months, years, maybe a decade. I don't know, but certain people just cannot take just any kind of abuse, because people bottle up these feelings for years, and then when they are finally released, people are acting like, well, why are you like this, and oh my god, like, why can't you just get over it, it's been a long time ago. I don't care how long it's been. It always seems as if the abuser or whoever harassed you or verbally assaulted you or did any type of flagrant activity towards you is always forgetting about the stuff that they do. Don't you notice that those who aren't really affected by their abuse are the ones that are forgetting about their behavior? It's funny how people that were abusive or bullies can just move on and have a regular life, but you are still traumatized by their behavior. And that's been like this for me for a while. Like, since I was in middle school, being autistic, a lot of people picked on me because of my mannerisms, my tics, my behavior. I could seriously just not say anything, just mind my business, and I have someone just targeting me because, oh, she seemed weird. And that's exactly what happened a couple of days ago, where someone tagged me and 100 other people into a post because they were reminiscing about a time where we had a good old-fashioned time at our alma mater, and I had commented saying these people need to unblock me because it's been 3 years, because we are trying to be positive, we're reminiscing, and it didn't make sense for someone to still be holding a grudge over something so petty 3 or 4 years later. So a couple of people laughed like, oh, that's so funny, like, why'd they block you? And I responded, you know what, I don't even know why, it was petty. So one of the guys commented and said, I told y'all the bitch is weird. But see, I'm blocked, right? But someone sent me a screenshot of what he said and what he has been saying about me. So I decided, okay, so since you still want to be calling me a bitch like I did you so wrong, let me comment on your damn page and tell everybody what really happened, since you are telling a whole different story. So I log on to the alma mater page because he has me blocked, and he blocked me earlier this year because after I unblocked him, I blocked him first because he had said so many disparaging things about me. He talked about my hair reminding him of a field slave. He said that I had nappy edges. He said a bunch of anti-black things in front of his white girlfriend and mentioned how she was laughing at me the entire time, implying that you saying all these hateful, degrading things about me, a black woman, and here's your white girlfriend sitting here laughing like hee 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 and just being passive aggressive about it. And then after that whole argument was over, I deactivated my page because they said so many horrible things to me that it literally gave me a panic attack. So I deactivated. I go on their page and they're laughing about how they ran me off. Oh, I flamed the bitch so bad, we roasted her, we got her, that she had to deactivate. Basically laughing about the fact that they bullied me to the point where I had a nervous reaction and I had to log off for a couple of days because they were horrible. And guess what happened? The guy that I fell out with posted a sexist comment about how women are unable to maintain relationships with other women because women are so emotional. And another person commented on that. And I said, that's not really true, but keep your sexist opinions. So then he got all offended, like, oh, how dare you call me sexist, and my mom's a Native American, and she's part white and Cherokee, and, you know, I'm mixed, and, you know, all the black women in my family, I love my sister, and, you know, how dare you call me sexist and misogynistic, you know, I love my black women, my black sisters, my black queens, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay, well, you may not be sexist, but the comment you made promotes sexist ideologies about how women are unable to contain their emotions and that we are constantly fighting each other when we live in a society that pits us against each other. So the reason why a lot of women may not be able to keep friendships with other women is because we kind of live in a society where we are made to compete with one another, and we are made to compete for the affections of cishet men. Now, I didn't use all of these advanced words for him because I know he probably didn't understand that, but I basically said something of that sort, and he's like, well, you're being emotional right now, and I only deal with emotional women in my family and friends and, you know, close friends, and, you know, even though you say that I'm your brother, you know, I'm not really your brother because you disrespected me. And I said, okay, whatever. Then he made it worse by posting another status and saying, you bitches be insulting me and expecting me to have a civil conversation with you? Absolutely not, bitch. So then I commented and we argued back and forth, and then his sister got involved and called me a slut bucket, called me a cunt. So they responded to my accusations of his misogyny with more misogyny, and it's like they got a rush out of it. Oh my God, how dare this fucking little measly bitch try to put me in my place. I'll show her. Call me a sexist. I'll call this little cunt bitch fucker. I'll show her. And that's how they acted. And it's like they wanted an excuse to try to humiliate a woman, especially a black woman. So that really gave me an anxiety attack. And I didn't cry over it, but it just really like wore me down. And I had to talk to my friend about it, and she said, you know what, that was wrong of them for them to do such a thing. So it's been bothering me like ever since, because sometimes I'll get like, wow, remember when that person did something so fucked up to me that I really had a panic attack. And I don't know if it's PTSD, but I have memories of people doing such foul things to me, such horrible things to me that I can't even describe. And sometimes I'll just be sitting there and just like convulse, because sometimes I'll get so nervous and get so scared, like I am currently in the situation, and I want to react. And then what I don't like is that when I confronted them about it, they try to say, well, you got mental issues and you need to be in a hospital. First of all, that is none of your business what issues I got going on. You don't need to be telling everybody what my mental status is. I'm not someone that's going to stigmatize mental illnesses. I'm not someone that's going to stigmatize anybody that has flashbacks or may have a psychotic break. I'm not going to try to say, oh, no, I'm not. How dare you accuse me of being mentally ill? And how dare you call me psychotic and bipolar and, you know, all of that. How dare you? Because I feel like that's ableist. That's internalized ableism. And I'm not going to try to deny that I have any issues. But what I will say is that we need to stop stigmatizing mental illnesses, because if you are abusing someone or if you are harassing somebody, whether it's verbally or physically, and they react to it, you can't gaslight them and say, oh, well, you're crazy and no one's going to take you seriously, and what in the name of Fatal Attraction obsessed hell is that's going on? Because remember, in Fatal Attraction, Glenn Close cried about the whole portrayal of Alex, because she felt as if they stigmatized bipolar so much, and that it made women unable to get help when they are in abusive relationships with men, or if they are sexually abused or used by men, because everyone looks at them as crazy. Oh, you're just mad because he rejected you. And it's not even the case, because this guy keeps telling people, oh, she's mad because I didn't break her off and I didn't fuck her, when the whole thing was in 2014. He came up to me at a party and said, hey, you're pretty. We should take a picture. Like, you're very pretty. So I said, okay, thank you. You're sweet. And we was talking. We hit it off. But I saw him as a friend. I wasn't really into him like that. I just looked at him as a brother. And one of his friends told me, wow, he really likes you, Kara. And I said, oh, well, that's nice, but I don't really look at him that way, because I was already into another guy that I also fell out with. And I mentioned in the post to say, unblock me. And he walked me back to my dorm and said, you know, you shouldn't be walking by yourself. And I said, okay, thank you. He walks me back to my dorm and asked me, you know, I need to stay in your room and charge my phone. I'm like, no, it's okay, because I kind of knew what he was trying to do. And I'm just kind of like, it's cool. And he looked kind of upset or hurt about it, but I didn't think it was a big deal. I just was not interested in him, and I politely declined. I'm not someone that's like, oh, fuck you, you ugly ass motherfucker, I don't want to date you. I'm not somebody that judges people because they are fat, or because they are dark skinned, or because they are light skinned. And I've had men say, oh, you don't want me because I'm light skinned, or you don't want me because I'm dark skinned, or you don't want me because I'm fat, or because I'm too skinny. And I'm just like, no, I'm not interested in you. But funny, when it comes to preferences, it's only a preference when men have them, but when a woman says, I'm just not interested in you, oh, well, why not? You just don't like me because I'm light skinned, because I'm mixed, or because I'm dark skinned, or I got nappy hair. And it's like, you're projecting, because that's not even me. Because as someone who's got rejected for things similar to that, I would never say I don't want to fuck with you because you're any of the things that I am, like nappy headed. And this guy tried to talk about my hair, and then when I brought it up to him, he's like, oh, I never said that you were ugly, and I never talked about your hair, when I literally fucking have a screenshot of you talking about my hair. Now, mind you, it wasn't a flattering picture of my hair or myself. It wasn't a flattering picture, but regardless, for you to call it a fill slave in front of your girlfriend, yeah, that was foul. I'm not gonna, it don't matter whether, you know, the hair is bad or not, because I had a guy friend of mine message me and say, oh, well, I don't see why you making a big deal. Like, I think you got nice hair, and there ain't nothing wrong with nappy, fill, slave, nigger hair, you know, like, you a nigga, you got that kind of hair. But that's not the point. If you are a biracial man and you don't have my hair type and you are calling it fill slave hair in front of your white girlfriend, yeah, I'm gonna be upset about it. Even if you aren't half white or light skinned, if you are any kind of black man talking about my natural hair, or even a black woman, I'm gonna feel a way about it, because we've been told by society that our hair is bad, that our hair is fucked up, that we need to alter it, we need to wear weaves, we need to straighten our hair. So that was what really pissed me off. So I'm cussing this guy out because he wants to call me out my name, because I gave him so many opportunities to take what he said back. He was warned not to do this. I warned him several times. I apologize if I ever offended him. I messaged him early on this year saying what he did was fucked up and giving him the opportunity to apologize. He never did. He just blocked me. He was warned. And now all of a sudden, when I react to it, he's talking about, oh, well, you're threatening me and my fiance, and I'm getting a restraining order against you. And he's talking to one of his police friends about how I need to get a restraining order against her, and she's just upset because I said a bad word to her, and I would never harm a woman, even though that on the post in 2016, he was telling all these women, you know, I know where she lives, and you can come to her house, and she lives on the Kentucky border, and I got her address, and I know where she lives. He doesn't, by the way, but he was talking all that jazz. I know where she lives, and blah, 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 and, you know, I'll beat this bitch ass. He was saying all of that, and now, oh, I forgot about what happened. I don't even remember. And his girlfriend's like, yeah, I don't even remember either, you know. And she was trying to say I didn't like her because she was white, and that I was upset that he brought a white girlfriend, when all I said was I was surprised that she was white, not even to their faces, but to one of his friends, because I assumed he didn't like white women, because when I met him at that party, he was talking about how much he hated white women, that he couldn't stand white women, and that the only white women, I'm sorry, it's dark. It is really getting dark. He was saying, you know, the only white women that I can really stand is my own mom. That's what he said. So I said that I was surprised, because he's so pro-black, and it's like one of those fuck whitey, you honky ass, you know, crackers. He's that type of person, or at least he was. And then somebody tried to say, well, so you're saying because he's pro-black that he can't be in an interracial relationship, which I never said that he couldn't, you fucking idiot. Did you not get the context of what I was saying? I was saying that for a man who said that he hated white women and that he would never date a white woman and would never love a white woman besides his mom, I was surprised to see that he was with this very lily white girl, this like kind of country white girl that now wants to speak of they to me and say, and call me sis, to try and sound tough. And it's just like, whatever, like, you can use that type of microaggression against me. You think because you got black friends that you friends with all my friends, but not me, that you can say whatever you want. And what really made me mad about her is that she tried to say, oh, well, I didn't even know you. Like, I just thought you was a little bit weird. I'm like, you're a bitch, because I am weird. I'm autistic. If I seemed a little bit awkward or kind of goofy, you know, making jokes with my friends, that's just how I am. You don't know me, and you're just a white neurotypical that doesn't understand how I act. But, you know, black neurotypicals aren't that much better either, because one of the girls had a nerve to contact them about how I was posting on my Facebook about how they were calling me degrading slurs. And when I said my family members should get involved, This bitch had the fucking nerve to screenshot that and send it to them and say, oop, now she getting her cousins. Like, bitch, you know you was wrong for that. And I messaged her about it and she didn't have nothing to say. And I think this bitch also felt away because a couple of years ago she was dating one of my friends, and I think I kind of liked him, but not that much for me to make a big deal out of it. So I just like wasn't really feeling the relationship, but I got over it. And then she ended up not even dating him anymore, and she ended up getting married and having a child. So we all messaging each other back and forth. She's a model. I'm like, oh, you're so pretty, I really like your pictures. Like, that's just how I am. If you're posting pictures of yourself and you're very pretty, I'm gonna compliment you. I'm gonna say, oh my god, you're so pretty. I'm like sharing my pictures because she's a model and she's kind of a local model in Indianapolis. So I'm like supporting her, and she just comes out of nowhere like, ooh, this bitch is weird. And I can't stand people like that, because if I'm nothing nice to you, nothing but nice to you, and you're like trying to start something because you want to fit in, and you're like 28 years old and you're doing this, I don't like that. And I unfollowed her, and I blocked a lot of people off my page because they were being two-faced. They were saying, you know what, Carrie, you need to just let it go, stop trying to get attention. But then when that man was talking about me and calling me all types of bitches, and his sister was threatening to shoot me, one of them guys had a nerve to say, yeah, you better get her, after trying to message me about how, oh, tell me what's wrong, and, you know, are you okay? And I guess because he thought that I was blocked from the other guy's page, that I couldn't see it. No, I was getting on my other account to message him because he didn't want to admit accountability. So I blocked him just because this was a guy who probably thinks because he was nice to me when everybody else was making fun of me freshman year of college, that somehow I should have like dated him. And a lot of these men are like that. A lot of these men that had something to say were just upset because I didn't have much of a relationship with them. And when I asked him to unblock me from another guy's page, when I asked him to tell the guy to unblock me, it wasn't even the guy that I was going back and forth with, but it was another guy. He's like, oh, why would I do that? You sound like a stalker. I'm just like, okay, but if I were a man and I had cheated on his girlfriend and I was your homeboy, you would be harassing her and sending all your bros to say, oh, well, he's sorry, and, you know, please forgive him, he made a mistake, just like the whole Cardi B and Offset situation. But yeah, when a woman that you wanted to fuck or you can't fuck says, okay, well, me and this guy are having a falling out, oh, well, I don't care, you know, like, why should I help you out, you a stalker, and blah blah blah. Because men are terrible friends. They feel if they cannot fuck you, then they have no reason to do any favors for you. And that's just the reality of it all. But anyway, eventually I posted on my Facebook page, you know, this guy is harassing me, he's threatening me, he's cyberbullying me, he's getting all types of people to call me out and call me crazy. He has a bunch of white men on there saying, you know, let me come at this girl, you know, I'm gonna let my inner savage out. So when I messaged the man and said, okay, well, let your inner savage out, he said, oh, you need to go to the hospital. And I guess maybe he didn't think that I was pretty or what. I think what happened was, I think because he saw what I look like, and I know how I am perceived to a lot of people, especially with different hairstyles and stuff, but I guess because he saw what I look like, he was kind of like, oh, well, you're crazy. And eventually everybody was like, oh, well, you're not ugly and you're not any of these things, it's just the fact that you're weird. And it's like, so you're admitting that you're an ableist and you don't like that I'm the way that I am, or I have certain quirks that are normal in autistic people. Like, yeah, I may kind of like stare into space, I may have like a little bit tics, I may repeat the same things, I may get a little OCD kick. That happens. But for you to treat somebody differently, or for you to like bully somebody or to ostracize somebody because they don't fit your cool black range of, you know, friends. And I kind of feel like that was how that white girl was. I really feel like she felt, well, she ain't cool and I don't want to hang out with her, she's weird, but I'll hang out with everybody else because I don't want to, like, I don't fuck with her, like, she's such a weirdo. And it's just like, why are people so mean and hateful? I don't understand why people are like that. Because I didn't have an issue with her, and I messaged her to say, you know, you're a mother, you're going to be a mother, you're going to have black children. I expect you to at least be more sensitive and more mature instead of just being a cyberbully at your big age. Because she's older than me. She's probably like 27 or so. Like, everybody that I was arguing with are older than me. They're like almost 30 years old. And they were just talking about how I'm gonna come across the border to beat you up. And I said, okay, well, here's where I live, and if you're really about that, then I can, because you're really pissing me off, and I'm really to the point where I could slap you in your face. I could slap the shit out of all you guys, because you really pissed me the fuck off. And I think once I said that, then they started talking to me a little bit more normal, like, well, you know, you need to just let it go, and, you know, just stop being dramatic, you trying to get attention. I'm like, so it takes me to have to cuss you the fuck out and for me to threaten you in order for you to talk to me like a human being? Because you think that I'm a little punk bitch? Is that it? You thought I was a punk bitch and I wasn't gonna do shit, then you respect me a little bit more when I threaten you? What the fuck? And I didn't even really threaten the guy. All I said was, I'm gonna get my cousins to talk to you, to kind of have a conversation with you and mince words about how, you know, you need to leave me the fuck alone, and how dare you be trying to talk about somebody else just because they don't want to fuck you, or, you know, try to call somebody a bitter black bitch over your damn relationship, when that wasn't even the case. I even said, obviously this is a great girl if he is willing to date her. She must be an amazing person, but I guess she just didn't like me. I don't know, like, I feel like maybe because I probably saw right through her, that she probably isn't as progressive as she thinks she is. She thinks all these black girls that are backing her up is going to, like, give her an excuse to call me a bitter black bitch. And she didn't say that, but I think, and maybe she liked the post of the girl saying it, which I don't think she did. I think she knows better, but he did. So it's just like, you guys, this isn't about whether you think black women are mean or vindictive or not. You just want to try to bully black women into making them out to be the angry black woman, because you feel that black women are some weak ass bitches. You try to scare and intimidate women, and then the more we defend ourselves, we become crazy, we become bitter, and we become ugly and all these things. We become all of these things that you claim to hate about us, but when we're nice and we're docile and all these things, fuck you bitch and blah 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 and ha ha ha, we really hurt her feelings, because that's what that girl said, bragging about how she hurt my feelings. But then once I said I was going to get my cousins and they saw all those last names that relate back to me, then it was like, well, if you keep messaging me, I'ma report you to the police, and I have all their numbers and information, and because this stupid ass bitch had the nerve to send my fucking family's information to their page, because she was in her feelings about how, oh, well, bullying her didn't work, and I wanted her to, because these people really made me feel like shit about myself. They really made me feel low. Like, I really felt like a shit person just because of what they said and did. And for this girl to go on my page and to feel away about the fact that I tagged my family members into a post about a man harassing me, and she doesn't even know the context of it, that fucking shows what a hateful, mean-spirited, conniving little bitch that you are, and that you have nothing to say about it. For you to do that, for you to do that shit, when I've been nothing but nice to you, and I've been supportive of your fucking bootleg-ass modeling career, I don't know, because how dare she ask her family members to step in, even though we have a bunch of 50 other people harassing and bullying her. How dare she have people to support her? And that's what happens once you get people aware of what's going on. Once you say, hey, this person is doing this to me, then people play the victim, people back down, because that's how bullies are. This is something we learned in high school, where once you bring attention to their behavior and other people see it, then they back down, or they even run away and play the victim. That is what they do, and it's a shame. Instead of apologizing and holding yourself accountable, you just play the victim, and that just shows some people are just hateful at heart. I really do. And all I said was, my cousins are going to contact you to talk to you about how you can't say any of that stuff to me, because I am a person. I don't care who you are. I am a person. You are not going to treat me any way. And I guess because they saw my cousins commenting and saying, oh, you just let it go and what the fuck, and you seeing cousins loving and liking the post, I think that truly scared them. That really scared them because now they just stopped kind of really talking and were deleting comments that I said, because I think they realized that it was to the point where I was getting my cousins, because I don't really like to get my family involved unless it is something serious or I really feel ganged up and attacked on. I like to fight my battles myself, even though other people really don't like to do that. Some people have even gotten their parents involved. As old as 21 years old, people have gotten their parents involved to try and basically their old ass parents to intimidate me. Like, these white girls were talking about how, oh, I got my parents involved, or this other black girl who I was in a sorority with, try to say I told my mom. Like, a lot of people will tell their parents because they feel like their parents can try to intimidate me, because I feel like once they realize that I'm not the person to fuck with, then they kind of like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna get a bigger person. And that's usually what happens in elementary school, where I remember we would get bullied by these kids, and once we stand up for ourselves, then they get their bigger sister to try to like tell us, you know, and that's what cowards do, because they cannot take the L. And they were sitting here telling me, you need to take the L and you need to just feel like shit about yourself. And I wouldn't take the L. And I guess again, once I was getting my family members who like put them in their place, then they got upset because, oh, it didn't work. How, like, and that's kind of the moral of the story, is that sometimes when you say something like that, when you tell somebody, okay, well, I have friends and I have families, or I have a male friend that could like tell you a little bit something about yourself and tell you off, then they're like, okay, well, this isn't fun anymore, I'm done. And again, a lot of people that had commented on the post were those that were kind of mean to me freshman year. They were bullies, or they kind of did some shitty things to me, like one of the girls. And I think with her, I think it was both ways. You know, I said something slut shaming to her. I said something fat phobic to her because she was dating one of the guys that I liked, or she was fucking him. But he did us both dirty. So I don't even know why she still feels a way about me after all these years, because that guy did you dirty as well. So why are you still mad at me? Why do you resent me over something that happened in 2012? Because I liked the girl. Like, I was like being nice to her because I felt really bad about her, because people were saying things about her that were fat phobic, that were colorist, and saying, you know, at least you're prettier than her and she's dark skinned, and people say that, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of fucked up. And you know, I feel like this girl also had some issues too, but like, it went both ways. She was being like nasty. She was picking on me. She was leaving me on the side of the street for me to walk back to my dorm by myself, doing all types of really shady things, acting like my friend. But she tried to say, oh, I don't know why you making a big deal. You just want some attention. And I feel like part of that was because she knew that a lot of them have said some mean things to me when I was a freshman starting out, and I was kind of a little awkward girl, couldn't really take care of my appearance. And I kind of grew out of that shell. I feel like that was part of guilt. Like, wow, we really did some fucked up things to her, and she's like basically getting back at us. But instead of just admitting it, they try to like put it on me, like I just wanted to feel big and bad, when no, it's like you did all this stuff to me, and now that I'm a little bit older and a little bit more mature and I can defend myself, now you feel as if I don't have the right to tell you how I feel because it's too late. I should have said something when I was a weakling, basically, you know, and that you're bored now. And the thing is, all I wanted to do was be friends with the girl. Like, I wanted to be friends with the girl, with the guy's girlfriend, but she didn't want to. She thought it was weird, or, you know, she felt away, and I don't like that. Like, all I want to do is be nice to people and make friends, and then you treat me like shit, and then you're mad when I respond the way that I do because you can't accept me for who I am. And I'm not hateful. I'm not threatening people. No one is harassing you. No one is doing anything that's harmful to you. You're saying that I'm threatening your white girlfriend and that you're going to go to the police and saying that I'm just mad you're in a interracial relationship, and then I'm probably going to get a record and it's going to ruin a lot of opportunities that I have because I really have too much to lose. And I hate when I say I'm too mature to fight. Some bitches always like, well, you're not mature enough to talk shit. Hell yeah, I'm mature enough to talk shit, because that's all I can say, because trust and believe, if I were a little bit younger and I was still in college and I didn't really have much to lose, I will fucking beat your ass. I would really fucking hit you in your fucking face. And I've been this close to fighting people over that. And then I didn't like how everybody was getting involved. And then when I said something to them about it, or somebody said something to them, they try to not say anything about it. Or when I unfollowed them and deleted them off my Facebook, and Facebook is so toxic. I can't stand Facebook beefs. That's why I tried to avoid it, but my family got mad, because how else are we going to contact you? Well, Facebook lets out the worst in people. Anyway, I unfollow these people, right? So then they want to be liking my new pictures. It's like, no, because you got involved and you was being a fake friend. You didn't even have to say anything at all. You could have just kept it to yourself. You didn't have to interact with the post. You didn't have to laugh at him calling me a bitch. You didn't have to do any of that. Because you could have just asked me what was wrong, or why was I so upset, instead of just making me out to be crazy or a bitch. Because you really made me out to be crazy. So now don't try to talk to me and flirt with me. Oh, you look cute, girl. You look so pretty and all that. No, because again, you was laughing at me and being fake. I don't like that, how I have all these guy friends being fake and saying shit about me behind my back, or even some women doing that as well. And then I post a new picture and you liking it and commenting like, girl, you no, I saw you. I saw the whole thing. And then you're wondering why. Well, because it wasn't that deep. I thought it was funny. But yet when I said something to him, then it was like I took it too far. But when he said something about me, I deserved it. No, I don't really like that at all. But this took longer than I thought. I just want everybody to have a blessed day. Try to be positive, because there will really be people that will bring you down no matter how old that you are. You can be 30 and established, but there will always be somebody that's a hater, or somebody that's just a mean person trying to bring you down. So I just want everybody to have a great day. I love you.